Hey guys, hey everyone. Nick from Millburn here with the Nick from Millburn and my wonderful crew from Hall Hoopins and Happenings for our post-game show. And I am ecstatic. You know, my blood pressure was going up and down all day during this game, but 79-73 win up at Marquette. Road wins are at a premium in the Big East. Okay, anytime, and I know, we were favored, and I know my team was saying this was a must win, but you go on the road in the Big East and you come out with a win, God bless you, because they don't happen very often. And right now we're 2-0 on the road in the Big East, and this was a game, boy. And 79-73 win, and Al McGuire country, Laverne and Shirley country. Shots and Brother Incorporated, Shamil Shamazel up at Milwaukee, Hank Aaron and the Brewers and the Braves and everything else. But I got to tell you, 79-73 win. This was a Stefan Payne show inside. And he had, in 32 minutes, 22 rebounds, 14 points, 22 rebounds. That's Glenn Mosley numbers for you guys out there. Glenn Mosley, I think he led the country in rebounding for Seton Hall way back in 78, 79, something like that. But guys, this is something, and I want to, get into the nitty gritty a little bit more, but I am ecstatic about this win. We needed this win. And again, everything that we talk about happens with our press and with their press and with us and Clark being able to take the ball to the hoops. And then Paul said last night, and there was a gold rush. There's a flipping gold rush in Milwaukee. Ben Gold, where the heck did he come from? But Paul predicted it. Paul said, watch out for that Ben Gold. And I don't know if Luigi went on DraftKings, because, that's his deal. But Ben Gold, how many points did Ben Gold have? I'm trying to look right now.
I don't have that.
Gold, 19 points, led all scorers. I mean, that's more points than he had in a month. So Ben Gold, as Paul predicted, came out of nowhere, 19 points, but didn't matter because in crunch time, we had Bud Clark that we were talking about all summer, Adam Bud Clark from Merrimack, get the ball in his hand down the stretch. And then Showtime, Trey Parker. Gotta love Trey Parker, playing a lot of two, and went for a three, got banged, hit the 3 foul shots, tremendous foul shots. Paul, let me get your thoughts. I talked enough. Let me get your thoughts. First of all, Paul, everything you said, like you should do scouting reports for the team, because you predicted Ben Gold tonight.
Well, he actually has a history of playing very well against us. If you look at, for some reason he gets hot from three against us. This time he was more an inside presence, but that's been going on since he's been at Marquette. My thought is, when you allow the other team to go on a 16-0 run in the middle of the second half, and then you win anyway, that shows resiliency. There was a whole bunch of times, I think I counted 3 threes that Marquette made at different points that I said, oh, that's the game. There's the dagger. And one thing we saw in the Villanova game is that this team keeps playing. They keep playing. They're down 17. They're playing. They were pressing and trapping in the last minute of the game against Villanova. And in this game, they just kept playing. I thought Bud Clark was a little bit tight in the second half. I thought he tried to do too much. I thought A.J. Staten-McRae tried to do a little bit too much, although he had a great shooting night from three. But they finally found the inside game. Payne was tremendous. Rivera surprised me with his inside passing. There were a couple of times where he made some beautiful inside passes to Payne. I think he made one to Parker. And all in all, you have to be very pleased when you go out to Milwaukee and get a win against the Shaka Smart coach team. And one thing I got wrong, Smart was willing to play some zone.
He did play some zone. I saw that. Yeah.
I was surprised, because I don't think he was going to play it at all. I don't think they played it particularly well. And we also see how important Najai Hines is against the zone.
Right,
Because
and we said that exactly.
yes, and when he's on the court against the zone, it is far less effective because he can go in and out. Nick, you were talking about that on Sunday night, the in and out passing that he can do. And all in all, you're 2-1 in the Big East. You won a game on the road that you had to have. There's only so many opportunities for these kinds of road wins, and I had Creighton on. They don't look like they're going to lose too many games. They seem like they figured out whatever their problem was earlier
They're
in
up
the year.
9 against Butler right now.
Yeah, and UConn looks very good. We know St. John's will figure it out. So it's a tough league, and you get a road win. You put that in the bank. This one, my uncle used to have a joke where he'd say, "You know what? We better heat the bus up and let's get out of here before they change their minds."
Oh no, exactly. And we're also joined by the unofficial mayor of Orange, my good friend, the great one and only, often imitated, never duplicated, Bill Hathaway. Bill, what's up, brother?
Yeah, so that was a big win. Like Paul said, you get the bus heated up and warm back to South Orange tonight.
Well, that's a hell of a bus. That's a hell of a bus ride back to South Orange. But we'll see. That might be a Greyhound back to South Orange. But
79-73. That's their second road win, Paul and Nick. I'm gonna go over the stats real quick.
Go over them real quick, and then we got people that want to get on. So do the stats real quick.
Stephon Payne, 14 points, 22 rebounds. Adam Clark, 13 points. AJ Stant-McRae, 14 points, four rebounds. TK Simpkins, another 11 points. Seton Hall had 34 points in the paint. They had 9 turnovers, 14 assists. They out-rebounded Marquette 47-29, 39% field goal percentage, 29 to 20 on the defensive rebounds. I think this team is gearing up for another. They geared up for another road win. When they went out to Marquette, they beat them. The second road win, they beat Providence and they beat Marquette. So it looks good for Seton Hall right now. They're looking mighty good. They're 12-2 on the season and 2-1 in the Big East.
Yeah, let me just say this before we get the coach Tom Eccles on. And here's one thing, and Luigi touched on this, and I want to see this because what Luigi said last night is there's really no positions in basketball anymore. But yet we have to figure out a way. Coach Shaw has to figure out a way because he only played 8 minutes tonight, okay? And when Stephon Payne is killing it like that, and Paul said, he is such a great asset against the zone. We got to figure out a way to get Hines in there with Payne. I'm sorry, Shaw. You just have to figure it out because it will make us a better team, right?
Hey, Paul, I don't know if you agree with me or not. I wanted to know why they were taking Hines backing out. I think you should have kept him in the game.
Well, the reason but Bill, the reason they did that is because Payne had 22 rebounds and 14 points, and he doesn't want to play him. He doesn't want to play him together. But right, Paul? What do you think? We have to, right, buddy?
There's going to come a point if you put your 5 best players on the court,
right?
Payne and Hines would both be out there.
Right.
At some point, you're going to say, "I need my 5 best guys on the court."
And that's what Luigi was saying last night. As crazy as he drives me, yes. And I was thinking of him, and I wanted him to get on, but he's busy with that damn dog in Mississippi or wherever the hell he is. So I mean, all right. Go on, Paul, and then we're gonna get the coach Tom Eccles and then Coach Tom O'Brien on.
A couple of quick points. Payne 8 of 12 from the line. He's not supposed to. Imagine if he was a good foul shooter. 8 of 12 from the line. That was I'll take that any day of the week. And we won, even though we only turned Marquette over 8 times.
And 0 in the first half, right? Yeah. 0 in the first half.
We didn't get a lot of points off turnovers. We played. They beat us in the transition game, so we figured out a different way to win. All year long, we've been winning with steals and transition baskets and points off turnovers. We didn't get those and we came out of there with a victory anyway. And I think that's very,
Yep.
very promising for this team, because in the Big East, you got to win in more than one way. Too many
Exactly.
coaches can take away what you do well. You got to be able to do something else.
So WSOU just texted me, Joe Morales. Give me a call. We lost your line. Joe, I have my own show. You can come on this show anytime you want. So anyone knows Joe Morales, tell them that, like, put when they get a little break, come on our show. But I'll text Joe back in a second. But we got the great coach Tom Eccles. Christina, is Tom there? Coach.
Yeah.
Coach from Buffalo. How cold is it in Buffalo? We can't hear you, Coach. No, Coach. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we go. Coach, how's the weather in Buffalo?
Now, can you hear me?
We got you. We got you.
All right. Well, the Buffalo weather, 22 degrees just about every day. Get an inch or an inch and a half of winds coming off of Lake Erie. The best part about the winds is it blew all the snow out of my driveway, so I didn't have to have Mr. Plow come by today. I am morning, 7 a.m. I'll be in Florida for 6 weeks.
God
so
bless
I'm looking
you.
forward to that.
You
Just wanted
snowbird.
to check in. I'll be back a little bit on what this team. And I said the last time I was on, this team knows they know how to adjust. They factor, and I couldn't be happier. Yeah, Nick, I'm your medication tonight, but I'm just thrilled. Job, you beat a smart team the way we did. Always impressive. And I think it was Bill, or I was actually sitting there yelling at the TV, stay with Shaka, stay with the zone. But, that's really all I wanted to add. I just want a great game. This team knows how to win. I couldn't be. And I want to thank you guys for all you do. You're gaining viewerships. And everybody, a happy New Year. So,
Tom, let me ask you one question before you go.
All.
Do you think, or when do you think Shaw will pull the trigger and get Payne and Hines on the court together?
We are, and I don't know if Shaw will pull it. I mean, we've got a winning record. Maybe if circumstances come up for trouble or other situations, maybe he'll do it. But I know a Shaw, I just can't see him breaking up this formula. So I wouldn't want to begin to predict when he would do it. And I just would like to wait. I don't know how many members of the group, but I can't tell you how many posts I turned down today saying Hines was out. I'll tell you how many comments there were on the board saying, why is Hines out? Or every intelligent Twitter feed or whatever I saw, all indication tonight. So that's my service announcement. And Happy New Year.
And Tom, appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. And Happy New Year to you and your family, and have a safe trip to Florida.
Will do.
Talk
to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Guys, now he doesn't, I love Tom, and maybe he has some insight because Shai is kind of stubborn, but Paul, right, he's got to at some point. Hines only played 8 minutes tonight. right?
Well,
You got to
Yeah.
get them together. I mean, you
So-
won, and I'm not complaining, right? It's tremendous, and Stefan Payne played amazing, but Hines in those 8 minutes was stellar.
So maybe we give Hines a little bit of a first game back after being off for a couple of days. You know, cut him. Maybe Coach Holloway is thinking about, let's not try to throw 16 minutes at him after he's coming off the injury. But if you were to ask, to me, Clark, Staten McRae,
Yep.
I believe Simpkins, uh,
Yep.
Payne, and Hines are the 5 best players on the team.
Wait,
Yep.
give me those 5 again.
Clark,
I agree.
Staten McRae,
Okay.
Simpkins,
Okay.
Hines, and Payne.
I agree.
So if those are your 5 best guys, at some point you've got to get all 5 of them on the court at the same time.
And if we
Yep.
go right now and look at KenPom, that combination probably hasn't been on the court once.
Yeah, I would be surprised. Yeah, certainly it hasn't, because Paynes and Hines have never been on the court at the same time, so we know
Right.
that is true.
So that's a great point.
But I also wanted to address, and I'm going to have to leave, guys. I've got to go to the doctor tomorrow, like 7:00. But I think Tom was talking about how many people were discussing Hines' injury, and I thought there was a lot of irresponsible content, not necessarily on our Facebook group, but in a lot of other venues.
Yeah.
And people were going so far as to suggest that Hines was deliberately trying to get redshirted so that he could leave Seton Hall and go get a better NIL deal somewhere else. And, people saying, why isn't he playing? And then it turns out that he was on the trip. He was in the lineup. He played. I think the fact that Payne played so well is another reason that Hines only played 8 minutes or so. But it's an 18-year-old. We talk about the money all the time. This is an 18-year-old kid, and I don't think we should be creating conspiracy theories around the fact that he missed 2 games because Shah won't tell us what the injury was.
Well,
That's just me.
first, you just said the word responsibility. It's not Shah's being responsible because he's a student athlete, and it's a private thing, really. And because he can't say too much, people make the wildest speculations. And once he got on that plane, he's gonna play, right?
Yes.
Because they're not gonna fly a player out and then sit him with an injury. That we just don't do that. And I got to tell you, all the it's sick to my stomach on some of these boards and everything that they and Tom does a great job of policing it, but not everyone is Tom Eccles. And it's just all the conspiracy theories over this 18-year-old kid who was just out for medical reasons. Go on, Bill. Go on.
I think people, they get at it, fans, like, if they're not really involved in the student athlete, these kids are all student athletes. They have privacy acts that cover them, as far as academically and school and athletics. And I think he's protecting his team.
Of course.
You got to understand this. This is a student athlete, and he's
That's
a
right.
student, and student academics come first, then athletics come second.
That's right.
That's how we do in high school. That's how we do whatever. And I think this kind of gives a thought of Shaheen Holloway. He's the head coach. Come through me if there's any issues. He's protecting his team, and that's what he's paid to do: protect the team and win games.
That's a God bless you. Way to preach. I agree with you 100%. Your number one thing is to your students, and then to Paul's point about all the irresponsible stuff.
And you know what? We as media people get out of hand because they want to see a byline. It's like you want to see a byline. Hey, this is what I got, the gossip. You know what I mean?
Well, it's about hits. It's all about hits. Right, everybody wants a hit. You post something and you want people to get
Yep.
a hit and look at what you say. Christina, come on for a second. Christina. Our producer, Christina from Millburn. Christina, read Rocco. We got Rocco Pascal. Read Rocco.
I barely have a voice, Dad. This is the kind of win that gives me hope for March. When the going got tough, we found a way.
That's right, Rocco, because years passed. And not even last year, because last year we wouldn't have been in this game. But years past, we would have found a way to lose this game. And it gives me pause too, Rocco, that we're what, 12-2 now, Paul, in the Big East? With 2 Big East road wins?
Yep.
Yeah, 2-1, 12-2, 2-1 in the Big East.
And we
2
got
wins on the road.
A tough Creighton game on Sunday, but let's not worry about that till tomorrow. Go on.
You kind of in the Coach Holloway's mind, one game at a time, and when you the way that Seton Hall came back, it's like this, Nick. Like I always said on the show, they have confidence in each other. They're playing as a team. They're Seton Hall has a bench. You got to give it this year to Holloway. His coaching staff on the off season did their job. This is what they get paid to do, and this is what they're producing right now.
That's right, Christina. Let's get Coach O'Brien on. So Coach, we go from a coach in Buffalo where it's 22 degrees and it's so windblown that the snow's coming off his driveway to North Carolina, and I love your hat. How's the weather in North Carolina?
Hey, well, I was hoping maybe Tom can pick me up 95 if he's driving down, because it is freezing here.
In North Carolina?
It is 40 degrees today.
Holy
my God.
40 degrees. And the golf courses were closed today. So that tells you a lot. Because normally we're off on holidays, but you guys, great show. Love listening to you. Great feedback. I don't know if Shaw was listening to me or to my sister. She lives in Morris Plains, Eileen Citrullo. At 11:06, we both text each other and said, we need to go zone. We need to go zone, because what they were doing, driving to the lane, getting looks, and then we went zone. I was hoping to see that a little bit earlier, because as you all know, this is not a good shooting team. They hit a couple threes in there, but the zone definitely impacted them. And I don't think they scored a basket the last 6 minutes and 36 seconds. Correct me, Paul, if you got that stat there. They didn't score a basket there. They made foul shots. Gold had a great game. Will we ever see Hines and Payne? That was the game. Today was a game where, Hines hasn't played in a while, and we were running up and down the court, up and down. And Payne, as 22 rebounds that he had, and a lot of them were offensive. I don't know if Hines could keep up with that. So, and I don't know what type of injury or illness he had, but maybe Shaw said, let's just give him some minutes here. See, but I still don't like how we don't attack the zone. I thought Rivera played pretty well. You guys haven't talked about him. He didn't make too many mistakes except for that crazy foul there where he wrapped around Gold. But when he attacked the zone and gave some nice passes down to Payne. But overall, I've got my right eye here. I'm watching Creighton and Butler here. They're two very good teams here. So one game at a time. One game at a time. I think, and Nick, you said it. This was a game that, we get close and then we just fade away last year. We were down 10. We didn't panic. And we stuck with our plan to play defense, got a couple key steals there, got a couple easy baskets there to cut it, chip away. And then, basically Marquette was just like, Lord, what do we do next? They didn't know what to do next. So honestly, I think he got out-coached the last 6 minutes of the game. And when we went zone, definitely screwed them up a little bit. But overall, guys, you got to be happy. This was a quad 3 win, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick.
Yep.
Quad 3.
Yeah.
Quad 3 on the road.
On the road.
Good experience for these kids as we're gelling together. But we'll enjoy it tonight, and then come tomorrow. I'm still watching the Creighton Butler game and see how we're gonna be able to be successful there. Now, is that game on the road?
The Creighton
That
game?
game's in Creighton. That game's in Creighton. No, our game against the game right now is in Creighton. They're gonna have to fly to Jersey.
They got to fly to Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
game's home. I think a 1 o'clock start on Sunday.
Are you guys going?
Yeah, I'm going.
Paul, you going?
12 o'clock.
No, I'm not. I've got a bunch of stuff here. Tom, I got a couple of things, though, I wanted to point out because you brought them up. Royce Parnham of Marquette hits a three-pointer at the 6:15 mark. Okay, 6:15 left to go in the game. They do not make another basket for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And the other thing was, Chase Ross made 2 free throws to make the score 71-64 Marquette with 4:18 left to go in the game.
Yep.
The final score was 79-73 Seton Hall. So we went on a 15-2 run over the last 4:18 of the game, and it didn't feel like a run.
No.
It just felt like we were playing.
Chip away. My sister was watching. She texted me. She's watching the game. She goes, "All we got to do is start making our foul shots at the end," and we did. I mean, we did at the end. I mean, when Parker took that 3 and got fouled, I'm like, "All right, Lord, we need these 3. We need these 3," and he made all 3.
All 3.
Yep.
Ice water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Showtime Trey Parker, I like him with Clark playing the 2 than running the point. I think he's a better asset that way, right?
Yeah, I agree. But let's see. I mean, I still love to know with Hines' situation what it was. If it was physical, I think we should know that, like it was an ankle. But if it's something personal, we shouldn't touch that.
I think we're pretty sure that it was physical from everything we're hearing. We don't want to elaborate too much because, again, it's an 18-year-old student athlete. But even Shaw kind of gave it away. It wasn't any disciplinary, or it wasn't any anything personal or classes or anything like that. I think it was just a little physical ailment that he needed a couple games off, and he's back.
Okay. But you all saw the last 24, 48 hours with these guys from the G League coming in, coming back. Jesus, what the hell? The NCAA's got to put the foot down here, guys.
We had a whole show on that last night. What's amateurism? What's a student athlete? Yep. I mean, it's the wild, wild west. And I think what you need now is, the NCAA, and I don't know how you're going to do this. I think you need to have some type of commissioner, someone to make these rulings, because right now it's just all over the place, right? Like you could be in the Italian league and be a professional and get paid in lira or something, and then want to go to school and come back in the second semester be playing for Baylor or somebody. Yep. There's no rules. It's insanity.
They'll make more money in college than playing overseas because the average salary overseas is like $60,000.
That's right.
60 to 80,000 tax free though, but but you can make more money as we all see here. So
right. Yeah, and then after those 4 or 5 years, then you go overseas. But with the NIL, you're making more. I mean, people are going the extra year to stay in college and get the NIL money. It's just the way it is right now. And look, I can't blame anybody for taking them. I just can't. Like, who are we to say anything about a kid or someone who has an opportunity to get a payday and not allowing them to take it?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sure, Nick, that if somebody decided to pay you $1 million to do this show, that you would take the money.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm doing it for free, but yeah, if somebody called me and said, Nick, come to our show, and I said, I love Paul and Bill, but $500,000, adios.
Oh, Nick, all you got to do is get some advertisers on here, Nick. Come
Well,
on.
that's Bobby. We're working on it. Tom, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that Creighton game here, the second half here. So you guys have a good New Year, and I'll see you all next week.
We'll be on after the Creighton game. Thank you.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
You too. All right.
Thank you. All right, guys. We got a treat now. We love Tom from North Carolina, but now the entertainment part of our show. Do I have to say his name?
Speaking of amateurism, it's amateur hour at the Apollo. Okay, it's not exactly the Apollo. So let me start by saying if there's any children.
Well, first of all, Mr. Stack Monster, how are you?
I am fine. My daughter's home from Oregon for another couple of days, eating well, no work till the 5th, no complaints. Disclaimer, if there's any children out there, we're about to go R-rated. It's no more G for Glenn. It's R. So let me start by, I love that man. Here's to you, Coach. I would have been on sooner, but I had some interactions that had to take place with my fans and friends on X. So here I am. How about that, huh? How about that?
Invite them to our show, because our viewership just went up when you came on. And I'm not lying about that.
Yeah, we better examine the psyche of the remaining fans out there. So I got one guy I love on X is South Orange Juice. I don't know if you guys X at all, but I like the Juice man. We were discussing during the game as it was getting late early, but we had hope. We were talking about how we would conduct our post-game behavior. He is a man of scotch. I'm a man of brew. But anyway, I digress. That's why you never give up, right? Mrs. Stack Monster turned the game off. I had to go upstairs because I can't deal with someone who comments on every single play. Sometimes I got to be in my own head.
Wait, your wife thought we were going to lose and turn the game off?
I went upstairs. After we opened the second half and got down by 10. I just went upstairs. I couldn't. I had to watch by myself. She's very passionate. When you marry a passionate Italian woman, that's what happens. But every play, she had to remind me how bad our defense was at that point in the game. And I was like, I don't need you to tell me every single play. I'm watching it. I can see it.
But isn't it cool though, Glenn, that we both have wives that are in the Seton Hall basketball that don't say put on Raymond or something else or put on the Housewives, that they sit there and watch the game with us. That's a cool thing.
But then they also try to, well, maybe not your case, but then they also try to talk me from leaving early from the Villanova game. And I was like, I will not abandon my troops unless I got to be somewhere. But anyway, that's another story. So I don't know what topics you covered yet, but I'm sure you covered all the important ones. So there's not much I can add of any insight here. Oh, Adam liked my last post. It said, hey, get back up here. Guts and glory personified equal Happy Stack Monster plus Pirate Nation. It wasn't pretty, but it certainly counts. You guys are doing a great job, by the way. I don't know how you do this not being retired. Well, is anybody retired here? I don't know. Maybe there are some people retired here. Oh, you're retired. No wonder you guys are.
Well, I will say semi-retired. I'm going from 80 hours a week to 40 hours a week. So semi-retired.
Okay. Okay. I don't feel so bad about my 60 hours. Well, it's not 60 hours a week, but Anyway, is it okay? I didn't know whether it was cool for me.
Well, I don't know. Are they a sponsor? Did Bobby get them to be a sponsor?
Well, I could. Let me see. They are based out of. I don't know where they're based out of, but I mean, we are growing in our viewership. Or we? I'm no, not we. It's you guys. You guys are growing in your viewership. Maybe. Imagine if we can get sponsors, then Nick, you might have a second job. You guys might get paid.
All
Nobody
right, Stack,
because I'm an amateur and I don't want to lose my status.
Stack Monster, thank you so much.
You're
I'll
welcome,
see you
guys.
Sunday, and have a
Yes.
very happy and healthy New Year to you and Mrs. Stack Monster and Stack Monster Jr. and the girls.
And Nick, you're going to have to nurse me back to health because I'm going to be sad because my daughter will be gone and back to Oregon on Saturday. So I'm going to need you to cheer me up. All right. Because, you know,
we'll do.
I'm a
And
Midwest person,
and it's great that your daughter's a Seton Hall fan also. Happy New Year, Stack.
God bless. Happy New Year, everybody.
Wow. That was the entertainment part of our show. But getting back to basketball, I like the squad that we have. Okay, but I agree with Paul saying at some point we have to go with our best five. And that's what Luigi talked about yesterday, that there's really not lineups anymore. And there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But with those best five, you do have a lineup per se. And I just want to see Payne and Hines out there together. Coach, that I love you. Brian, I love you. But that's our wish, right, for the new year. Just let's see how it goes, right? Because I think it'll go well.
Absolutely.
Coach, I got Frank in the green room, and he's in the cold. Can we get him in quick?
Yeah, let's get Frankie in.
Okay, so Nick, I'm gonna leave the program with Frank on. You got plenty of guests and plenty of intelligence, so I'm off.
All right.
We'll be talking again on Sunday if we or whatever day we do it next week.
Yeah,
And
well, there's a game. There's a game Sunday. We'll be on after the game, and we'll figure out. I'll let you guys know what time.
And I'll get a Creighton preview out for the Facebook group when I get a chance to write it.
Thank you for all that you do, Paul, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Paul.
Happy New Year.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Frank, what's going? Frank, where are you?
I'm Nick. How you doing? I'm down at the shore, and there was like somebody that posted something last night. Said he said, is anybody going to be down at Monmouth County? And I said, I'll be close. I'll be down there at the Belmar area. And he said, yeah. Go to this place. So I showed up. That guy wasn't there. Apparently he went to some place in Red Bank, but I still came here. I was pretty much by myself, but I met this other guy named Eddie. He brought his son Kyle, and they were both big Seton Hall fans. And we were here, and we all cheered on Seton Hall. And
Frankie? Was it like a viewing party?
No, I mean, Nick, it was like some impromptu thing somebody threw out there on the Facebook page, and I jumped on it because I knew I was going to be in this area tonight. And then my wife was like, "What? Where are you going? What do you mean?" I said, "Honey, could you just drop me off?" And she did. She dropped me off over here. I'm like, pretty much in Belmar.
Okay.
And yeah. So then I came up here, and it was like a really tough game. But then when the second half came in, this other guy, all of a sudden I'm hearing like clapping, like not too far from me, and I'm like, I thought the guy was actually mocking me, but he wasn't. It was just another Seton Hall fan. So then we when we started coming back, I went over to him and I said, "Oh, you're really into this, like me, right?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." I look. I told him, I'm like, yeah, go on the Facebook page. I directed him to where he could go and get to be in the know. But it was. I mean, I thought we were down and out. Didn't you guys?
No, I thought Seton Hall. We know they were on a comeback trail. I thought it seemed like it was going to be down and out, but there's no, you got to Frankie, you got to give this team a pat on the back. They were down and out by 10, and they came back and won the game.
I think the key was that we have a coach who just stays calm. and he made an adjustment. When we switched to that zone, it was kind of
Yep.
like a spark, and then we
Yep.
made some big plays. Whereas in the past we wouldn't have made those plays. Frank, what do you think about the game tonight? What are your thoughts? Who played well? We've been talking about Stephon Payne, 22 rebounds, 14 points, but the fact that Hines came back and only played 8 minutes, do you see a scenario where those two are going to play together?
Absolutely. They're definitely going to play together. But tonight, I mean, Hines, yeah, Hines, he looked like he was a little bit rusty. But Payne, he came up big a bunch of times. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm like shivering over here. It's really, really cold out here. But they, they dug down deep. And I didn't think when we were down 10, we were going to be able to come back. And I was really frustrated. But, those guys showed so much like fortitude. They showed so much aggressiveness. But Nick, going back to your question, with those two playing, and I don't know, one thing that we haven't mentioned was, where is Ariarne?
I think God's will is just with he's the third center. And as long as we're playing one center at a time, I think his minutes are going to be, limited right now.
I know, but to me, especially in the first half, I'm saying to myself, all right, let's get. A lot of things weren't working. I thought maybe they would just throw him in there for 1 minute, but maybe that didn't happen. But whatever Shad did, everything worked out, and I was scared that that last night we talked about it, and I really think it would have been a bad loss for us, a really bad loss, but we avoided it.
And that's what good teams do. And
Mhm.
that's what we wouldn't have done last year. We wouldn't even have been in this game. And
Oh,
in
absolutely.
previous years, we wouldn't have won this game. So
No.
so yeah. And Big East road wins are at a premium, and you just enjoy them when you can. And Frank, let me get inside and get warm. Thank you for coming on, and Happy New Year. And we will see you after the Creighton game on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I'm a lot warmer now. I'm in the vestibule, but I was like shivering outside. But yeah, you might not be able to hear me, but yeah. All right, we'll talk later. But Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
New Year,
All right,
Frankie.
and still
Thank
Merry
you,
Christmas.
Frankie.
It's still
Always a
Christmas
pleasure,
season.
my guy.
All right, I'll
Thank
see
you.
you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
So Bill, let me just say this, and hopefully we'll get some more people on. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that right now with the men's team with Shah and the women's team with Coach B, and for everyone, there's a women's game tomorrow, 1:00 at
1
Walsh.
o'clock. Yep.
If you can make it, please do. For season ticket holders, again, there was a printing problem with the tickets, and the tickets say January 31st. It's not January 31st. It's tomorrow, December 31st, New Year's Eve. But with Shah and Coach B, they've both been pressing all the right buttons lately and getting the best lineups in and getting the best results. And I think we're fortunate to have two coaches like that. I mean, we're very blessed. Well, do you see a similarity, Bill? Because I kind of see that.
I agree with you, Nick. I think Shaheen Holloway has done a tremendous job. The offseason recruiting, along with the women's coach, Tony, I think they're gelling together. I mean, they want Seton Hall to be a winning program. Not only a winning program, Nick, they have a berth to go to the NCAA. Seton Hall hasn't seen that in a while. I think they're gelling together. Both programs, both coaches, the support of each other. The men's are at the women games. When you see them at Walsh, they're supportive. They're cheering them on. And the women, They cheer the men's program on. I think there's a lot of a positive vibe on the campus of South Orange and Seton Hall University right now because you have two outstanding coaches and they're prominent coaches and they know how to coach a winning program like
And
the
and
men
and,
and the
and
women.
what's unique about us is your athletic director went to Seton Hall. He's an alumnus. Your
Yep,
men's basketball coach went to Seton Hall, played for Seton Hall, starred for
yep,
Seton Hall. So he's an
yep.
alumni. And then your women's coach is also an alumnus of Seton Hall. So, everybody on that campus knows what Seton Hall's all about. They all
Yep.
bleed pirate blue. And
Yep.
it's just a great thing we have going on right now. And for those just joining, and I know a whole bunch of people just jumped on, Seton Hall won tonight 79-73. We outscored Marquette in the second half 40-35. 14 points from Stephen Payne, 13 from number 0, our point guard, Adam Bud Clark. And he also chipped in with 6 assists. AJ
Yep.
Stanton McCray, our shooting guard, had 14 points. Josh Rivera off the bench in 13 minutes had 8
And
points.
you know what? You know what? You got to give the Seton Hall team this tonight a credit. You know, they were down 10. They were chipping away, and who was the last kid at the made the 3 shots? Was it Simpkins? Was it Simpkins?
Well, you talking about the 3 foul shots, Trey Parker?
Yep.
Yeah, Trey Showtime Parker, and I love that
Yep.
nickname.
Trey
He
Parker.
had
Yep.
played 20 minutes, which means he got a lot of minutes on the same time as Clark was on the court. Clark played 34 out of 40 minutes. Payne 32 out of 40 minutes, but Trey Parker, Showtime Parker, chipped in with 8 points. And that may be a season high. So, but they were eight key points. But again, Shaw pressed that button and it worked. So whatever Shaw's doing, whatever Coach B's doing right now is working for both those programs.
Yep.
And it's a great time to be a fan of Seton Hall Pirate basketball. Don't you agree?
I agree with it. You know, I think this program is progressive every year, you know, compared to last year. But you know what? You got to take game at a game at a game at a game. You got to determine the factor. Who are the key 5 that he's gonna remain in there? Is he gonna play 5? Is he gonna play 7? Is it, you know, he's finding the ingredients right now. And I think he's find it well because he's 12-2 on the season. You know what I mean? He's 12-2 on the season.
We have
So
5
he's doing
wins,
something
5
right.
wins more. All last season we won what?
Yep.
7 games. So
Yep.
5 wins more than last season, and 2 Big East road
And
wins.
you know what's sad
and
though?
that's huge.
You know what's sad though?
What?
See, this team was picked last in the Big East Conference on Big East Media Day.
Well, they don't know. Like, and what Shaw said to that, they don't know my team. They never saw my team in practice. They've never.
Mhm.
You have a whole new squad. You have 11 new players from last year. So who knew? But Shaw knew, and
He knew.
Shaw's learning. Christina, pop on a second. Christina, go to bed.
James Kelly said in this rotation, different guy stepped up. Rivera gave them good minutes tonight.
Yeah, this is Jim from Nutley, and Rivera stepped up, and Jimmy only played 13 minutes, but in those 13 minutes he had 8 points, and he was a key factor. And we've been saying all along that as Jacob Darr's minutes have been decreasing, he only played 5 tonight. That Shaw has more confidence in number 7, Josh Rivera. And Rivera's been playing really well off the bench. He's a transfer from over at Fordham. And I know Shaw got some criticism, but I mean, whatever. Shaw is a great judge of talent, and he's a good coach where he can play kids up. He can make players better. And I think that is happening with almost everyone on this squad, right? Like Rivera, Rivera, we did not expect this from Rivera, and Rivera's
No.
been clicking lately, and he just seemed
No.
he's a very, very
I,
unselfish
I
kid.
think I think his bench has prevailed, and I think it's obvious that you've seen tonight that this team has won not one, not two, but 2 games on the road, and like you said, Nick, Providence and against Marquette. You can't find. You gotta get wins on the road, and they come at a premium. And I think Seton Hall.
Let's go on your point. Let's look at the bench for a second. 13 minutes, Josh Rivera, 8 points. Najee Hines, 8 minutes, 6 points. So that's 14.
Yep.
TK Simpkins, who's been coming off the bench all year, 11 points. So that's 25 bench points. And then Trey Showtime Parker, 8. 33 bench points. I mean, out of 79. We didn't have that last year.
I think 34.
34
and 34.
Yep. Right. Out of 79 points. I mean, so guys are, like you said, guys are coming in and they're making the most. And this is what Coach B said on Sunday. Players are going to get opportunities, but it's what you make of those opportunities.
That's right.
And tonight, Josh Rivera made the most of his 13 minutes. Najee Hines made the most of his 8 minutes. And that's all you can ask for, right?
Yep.
Christina, come on for a second.
You called me before when I was in the middle of a coughing fit.
That's okay. No, Bill handled it. So what do you think? Any before we wind down, you have any thoughts? Anything? We got a lot of people on and in and out tonight. That was good.
Heard from a lot of different people, which is great. I gotta say, Bill, I love your optimism, but when we were down 10, I was not nearly as optimistic as you were. I was yelling, I was shouting, I was probably.
We gotta keep it with tea, green tea tomorrow, Christine.
Oh
and stay in the bed. Stay in the bed tomorrow. Stay in the bed.
I gotta go to work, Bill.
Oh no. PTO time for you.
Can you call my boss?
I think she's going to come to the women's. Bill, you going to the women's game tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, she's coming. I'm going. I'm only joking.
No,
Feel better, Christina.
Actually, Bill, I went to the doctor yesterday. I'm not contagious.
Oh, okay.
My dad took comfort in that one, so I'm good.
Okay.
Bobby was doing a game tonight. My alma mater, Columbia, was playing St. Mary's of Rutherford, and St. Mary's supposed to be pretty good. I don't know who won that game, but yeah. So Bill, your final thoughts before we.
My final thoughts are: it was a great win on the road. This is the second time the Seton Hall went on the road. It's coming at a premium, and I think Stephon Payne, Adam Clark, AJ Stanton-McCray, Simpkins, Hines, they all combined for the win tonight.
Yeah, I think it was a very well-coached team. I think Coach Shaw has done an amazing job putting this team together, the way he's been constructing this team, and then the way he's been coaching this team. He's been getting a coach's job is to get the most you can out of your players, and I think he did that tonight, and I think he's been doing that all year. And I like what we're seeing. I'm gonna watch the Creighton game, do a little scouting report on Creighton because they're coming into the Rock on Sunday. And what I do know about Creighton is that Creighton's a good 3-point shooting team. Christina, come on back on.
You're killing me.
You want to get your voice? Take some, like Bill said, take some green tea and read Brian Webster.
Offensive rebounds need to translate to more points. That's my only takeaway.
Yeah, but Brian, I agree. But the fact that we're getting so many offensive rebounds and the fact that Payne was able to get so many offensive rebounds and you get a rebound, you put it up, you miss, you get it again, you put it up and you get fouled. I mean, that's 2 offensive rebounds, but you're still getting some points out of it. I agree. You got to be a little bit better, but the fact that we got so many offensive rebounds is a plus. And while I do think that's a good point, I do like the fact that we were in there and getting the offensive rebounds. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, I think Seton Hall, like the announcer said tonight, they were big on the offensive boards. And I think I wrote it down at one point during the game. Let me see if I have it or not. No, I thought I had it, but I didn't. But yeah, I mean, like in the beginning of the game, you know, Marquette was on a 10-2 run, but I think in the second half, I think Seton Hall realized it that they were going to win this game, even though they were behind 10, because number one, hitting key shots. Your guy Parker, he was a big
Showtime, Trey Parker. We gotta love
yep.
Showtime, Trey.
Yeah, Trey Parker was a key asset. All the people that contribute to tonight's win: Hines, Clark, Stephon Payne, AJ Stanton McCray. They went on the road. They got their second win, and we'll see what happens come Sunday.
And we were able to, I know in the women's team, the big thing this year was not able to close out games. We went on a 13-0 run tonight to close out this game, and that's key.
Yep.
I mean, you can do that. You can go into a place like Marquette, where Marquette's had some success recently with Tyler Kolek. We talked about that. And Shaka Smart's a very good coach. He's one of the best coaches in the country, and yet Shia coached them tonight. It's that simple. We made adjustments. Every coach goes in with a game plan, but it's what you do when things don't go your way, the adjustments that you make. And I think Shaw's shifting to that zone, and we haven't played too much zone all this year, but I think it worked. And we went on a 13-0 run, and it made all the difference in the world tonight.
I think they made adjustments at halftime. He saw, I think it was 39-38 at the half, Nick, right? Am I right?
39-38 at the half. But then they came out and got the lead in the second half. They built up a 10-point lead.
Yep. And we kind of, Seton Hall's team kind of chopped away, and they got the victory tonight.
Whenever I think of Marquette, okay, I don't know if you remember this. Al McGuire had a guy named Bo Ellis, and he let Bo design the uniforms, and they were called Marquette uniforms. And Christina, actually, when her and I were coaching softball, we had them. Marquette uniforms are your names are at the bottom, not the top, but you can't tuck them in, and it's pretty cool looking. I don't know if anyone in college has that anymore, but back in the day, that was pretty stylish, and everybody wanted to wear Marquette uniforms. All right, and Bill, final thoughts? Anything else before we go?
Yeah, Seton Hall got a good win on the road tonight. Hopefully Seton Hall can keep it up. And I wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Bill. Happy New Year's. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna get there around noon. And God bless everyone. We appreciate everyone that joined the show. Our viewership, like Tom Eccles said, is skyrocketing. Our comments, everyone, we're hearing all good things. And we do this for you guys. And everyone is welcome. This is your show. And we want everyone to participate.